Airspace over Lake Michigan was closed for over an hour Sunday, setting off alarm bells for residents on both sides of the lake. It turns out the U.S. military was busy tracking and shooting down a fourth unidentified object that had drifted over Lake Huron. Speculation suggests it was another Chinese spy balloon. Caroline Shively reports from Washington.
U.S. military officials remain on heightened alert after shooting down 3 unidentified aerial objects over the weekend, including one that crashed into Lake Huron on Sunday.
The president, with the recommendation of his military leaders, directed them to be taken down.
Administration officials say the 3 objects likely traveled over sensitive military sites, and analysts couldn't rule out if they were conducting surveillance.
These objects do not present a military threat to anyone on the ground. They do, however, present a risk to civil aviation and potentially an intelligence collection threat.
They'll know more once recovery is complete.
There's a joint U.S.-Canadian effort to make sure we keep eyes on that equipment and pick it up.
This follows the downing of a much larger object thought to be a Chinese spy balloon off the South Carolina coast on February 4th after officials tracked it across the U.S.
It was 200 feet high. It had a payload bay and a surveillance bay. We've been told the numbers 2, 3, and 4 have none of those things.
Navy crews have been able to recover some of the payload from the Chinese balloon, which teams are now piecing together at the FBI lab in Quantico, Virginia.
There's a lot of things that can be attached to a balloon. Electronic magnetic pulses, for instance. You see chemicals. There's a lot of things that can be attached to the balloon, so we need to take it serious.
U.S. officials say they have no reason to believe the objects downed over the weekend are from China. In Washington, Caroline Shively, Fox 32, Chicago.
And joining us now to further discuss this phenomenon is Ian Hurd. He's a professor of poli-sci at Northwestern University. Ian, thank you very much for being on the program. Let me start off by asking you if you have any take on why we're suddenly noticing this flurry of activity with these balloons or balloon-type objects in the sky.
The flurry certainly seems to be coming just from the fact that now the U.S. is looking much more closely to find these sorts of things after that first Chinese balloon made such a stir. So now NORAD and the other air defense systems are tuning in to every piece, every blip, every little thing they can find floating in the sky and looking at it much more closely than ever before.
You know, there are these conspiracy theories on the internet right now that it was a UFO, but I mean, there are aliens piloting these things. But I mean, I do have to bring it up because there is quite a bit of chatter about that. So, I mean, is that a possibility? Will we ever know what these objects are?
I expect we will know what they are because I think that for most of them, the debris is going to be recovered in some fashion. The way more likely scenario is that these are either balloons sent up like this Chinese one to gather information, or they're just stray bits of balloon. There's a lot of flying junk in the stratosphere, leftover balloons and hobbyists' equipment. There's a lot of stuff floating around there. If you start looking really closely, you'll find a lot of it. And if you start shooting it down, then that's certainly going to make it onto the news.
Yes, and speaking of, China's response to this newsworthy event this past week was that the U.S. overreacted. Again, I believe that they came out today at some point and said that the U.S. is conducting its own surveillance over Chinese airspace. What do you make of the relationship here and the dynamic kind of unfolding between these two superpowers?
I think the Chinese propaganda machine is a little bit on the back foot on the issue because they've gone now a week or so from the first balloon without having anything like a credible story for what it is, except obviously a Chinese surveillance instrument. So I think now they're trying out some different narratives, including claiming that the U.S. is doing similar things, so it shouldn't complain about it. I don't trust what the Chinese government says on matters like this, but at the same time, the U.S. government often covers up its military surveillance activities. So until somebody's got some actual evidence, I don't see any reason to believe that the U.S. has balloons over China. But I would wait for the evidence on that, and so far nobody has shown any.
One of the officials that was quoted in the last story we shared with our viewers said that these things could be hauling dangerous chemicals. Should Americans be concerned?
Well, sure, they could be hauling anything, but they're probably not, right? It's not that easy to get the dangerous chemicals and float them around. So I think the actual fact is that they're probably not dangerous, but we don't know till we figure out what they are by catching them or getting the debris back up. you know, a high school science club can launch a balloon to 30,000 feet. So these things are not that hard to do. It's much harder if you want to be able to steer it or get it back or have it send messages or collect data or be powered by solar or whatever. All that stuff is really hard. If you're trying to accomplish a goal with it, it's really hard. But it's easy to send up, and that's why there's so much sort of sky junk floating around up there.
Well,
but so far, we don't know what these 3 others were. That's right.
Valuable perspective. All right, Ian Hurd with Northwestern University. We appreciate your time this afternoon. Thank you.